having a wonderful afternoon. It's been kind of a interesting afternoon for sure. And I have no doubt it will just continue to get interesting. It always is around here, right? It seems like by Fridays, everybody has already got weekend brain and things get a little crazy around here. So Friday shows are always a lot of fun. Sometimes chaotic, but always fun. Always fun. Looking forward to it. Hi, Cindy. Good afternoon to you. I'm glad that you are here. Hope you're having a good one. I got a fun show for you guys today. We are going to be creating some earrings with one of our previous strand assortments that I showed you guys last week, but I also have other strand assortments where a lot of these have been restocked, and that's really exciting. So I'm going to show you some strand assortments that some of the other designers have shown you, and now I have the opportunity to show them to you as well. And be sure that you are going back to check the replays of these videos, because just because I'm showing you a mix today doesn't mean that there's not a project for it. So you got to be sure that you go back, check the other designers replays. Wow, words are hard. Check the replays, because there's probably a project related to the ones that I'm going to show you, which makes it extra fun because you've already got some inspiration to go on. So that's what we got going on today. I also have a new product drop for you guys. You want to stick around for that, as well as a trivia question that you don't want to miss. This one's a little hard, so you definitely want to stick around and see if you know the answer to our trivia question this week. Hello, Hazel. Hi, Susie. Tracy's here. Denise is here. It's so good to see so many familiar faces. I'm telling you, like, something happens to my brain at about 3 o'clock on a Friday, and yet they still let me continue to do these shows on Friday afternoons. I don't know why. I don't know. Also want to mention that our mix master Megan is in the house. You guys, Megan from the warehouse, our beautiful friend who puts together the most incredible strand assortments and mixes for you guys. She's here hanging out with us in the comment section with Eric. So please be sure that you give her tons and tons of love, because we would not have these strand assortments if it were not for her expertise. She is truly appreciated and a real rock star here at Art Beads. So we're happy to have her. All right, guys. So let's see, who else is in the house? Susie's, I think I already said hi to Susie. Hey to Jackie's here, Ruth is here, Jeanette, Gail, S-Barb girl. All right, everybody is making their way in, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do, very similar to previous shows, is I am going to lay out the strand assortment that dropped last week in my Friday show of last week. Now, this one is still available, so you can still grab this one. I'm going to show it to you. We're going to talk about how to shop, and then I'm going to show you some other ones, and then we're going to come back to it, and we're going to create a fun little pair of earrings out of some of the beads. So I'm going to turn you around and go ahead and get into it, shall we? All right. So move all my tools, my wire out of the way here. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with what's going on at Art Beads right now, you will know, and if you don't know, now's a good time to find out as any. We have 20 to 30% off our best-selling jewelry making components right now, from our essentials to show-stopping focals, like all of the goodies. Our best sellers right now are 20 to 30% off, and bonus, they ship for free. So if you would like to add one of our top sellers to your cart today, anything else you add to that cart is going to ship free with it. So definitely take advantage of that while you're checking out everything that is in today's show. Now, reminder about this one. This is the Autumn Falls strand assortment that I released for you guys last Friday. So you're going to take another look at this one. Absolutely love this one. It is never too early to start thinking about all of your fall designing, right? Because it's going to be here before you know it. I know a lot of people don't want to rush it because you don't want to rush your summer. But when it comes to designing, you know, you got to get ahead of the game. And going ahead and working on your fall designs, particularly if you have some craft fairs coming up, some craft shows that you are going to be working on through the fall and the holiday seasons, it's a good idea to go ahead and get a jump on those right now. And this is a wonderful mix, or assortment rather, to do that with, because this one is full of beautiful fall colors. Now, individually, you could use these however you wanted to, but if you combine all of these beautiful strands together, you're going to come up with some amazing fall designs, or just some designs that have such deep, wonderful colors in them. This is probably my favorite bead in this assortment. And this can be a tricky bead to work with. And so I decided that I would incorporate one of these beads in our design today to show you guys how, just one of the many ways that you can use these. Part of the reason that people get stumped with these is because they're beautiful flowers, but they're drilled in the center. So that can be kind of tricky trying to figure out how to incorporate that into your design. So I'm going to show them to you in today's project, just one of the ways that you can use these, and then we can talk about some other ways if you are curious as how to use a front drilled flower like that. But I love them so much. The red is absolutely beautiful. So these are all of the beads that are part of this Autumn Falls Strand Assortment. So still available, but in very, very limited quantity. So always keep that in mind when it comes to our strand assortments and our designer blends. These are always in limited quantities. And sometimes Mixmaster Megan is able to restock these, but I always kind of want to point out that if she can restock them, sometimes they might be a little bit different. You may get these, and if it's the second run of one of these, she may have replaced a strand for something similar that she didn't have enough of, but you guys wanted them. So just know that if this particular configuration of this assortment is the one that you want, and you absolutely don't want to miss out on any of these strands being replaced with a different one, get them when they run the first time around. The second time around, they are always beautiful too. But I just know how it can be when you're like, oh, it's restocked, and then you see, oh, but that one bead that I really wanted might not be there. So definitely want to get these while the getting's good. Add these to your carts and be sure that you are checking out fully when you have these, because when we have sales going on, particularly when we do like free shipping like we've got going on right now with our top sellers, these things tend to sell out really, really quickly because people jump at the chance to get the free shipping. When the shipping is on us, people load their carts up with all kinds of things. So just know that just because it's available right now does not mean that they are always going to be there. All right, so moving on from this one, we are going to come back to this because this is what we are going to create with today. Okay. Well, actually, let me take another minute here to let you guys look at this one, because I completely got to talking and forgot why we were here in the first place, to give you some eye candy while I talk about how you can shop. Speaking of shopping, you will notice there's a shopping bag on the side of your screen at any point during today's show. You can click on that shopping bag. It's going to bring up all the items in the show. This one included, plus everything else that you're going to see, including the wire, the head pins, even the tools are all underneath that little icon. You can add those to your shopping cart as well as check out all while watching the show. You don't have to navigate away. However, if you do happen to navigate away and you get lost and you are trying to find us, you can go to artbeads.com/live and get right back to where we are. And you can watch this on replay as many times as you want to after the show. Also want to mention, if you are joining us from Facebook, it is easy for you to shop as well. There's a little text box in the corner of your screen where you're going to type in the little codes for each one of the items that you see, and it is going to send you a link directly to your messenger to make it easy for you to shop. However, I want you to know that if you are joining us from Facebook or YouTube, I can't see your comments in the chat. Not only can I not see your comments, but you can't enter to win our trivia question. You have to be joining us from artbeads.com and be part of our chat that's going on here on the big show in order to win. So if you would like to be a part of that, we encourage you to come on over and join us that way. All right, so I'm going to set this one to the side, and we are going to take a look at some of our past strand assortments. And guys, remember that we will be launching a new product, a new kit that Megan has put together for us later in the show. So stick around. You don't want to miss out, right? All right, I'm going to show you another one of the strand assortments. This was actually the first one that I got to release with you guys, and it has sold out and been restocked maybe a couple of times, if I'm not mistaken. This is one that was so stinking popular. You guys went crazy over it. So this is one of our teal mixes, our teal strand assortments, and I'm obsessed with this one. It has absolutely beautiful beads in it. Check these beautiful flowers out. They're like opal, that beautiful AB finish to them. So pretty. There were some gorgeous leaves in this one. Now, again, I think this one may have changed slightly. It may have changed slightly. I have the original right here. This one may have changed slightly. I'm not entirely sure, but Megan is here in chat and she can let you guys know for sure. But this one is and has been restocked, so you guys can grab it. So if you missed it the first time around, you've got another opportunity to grab it. Those are beautiful. So, so pretty. All right, another one of my favorites were these table cut beads. These are gorgeous. Look at those. They're so pretty. They're like satin. Absolutely beautiful. And don't forget, these are, not only are they in limited quantities, but these are vintage beads, guys. These are vintage. I think this was one of the strands that may have been replaced with something. But in case you have the original, check those out. They're so pretty. Ooh, somebody's talking about the daggers. Let me show you the daggers. Mine have kind of become a mess here because I did create some earrings with these for you guys. So let me move through. The daggers are fantastic. They're like white, but it's like a, I don't know what you would call that. It's a very iridescent white with the blue on them. They look like they have like clouds. Gosh, they're so pretty. It's the iridescence for me that I absolutely love on those. So, so pretty. So pretty. Ooh, we have a request for a purple mix. I think Megan could probably put together. Megan, go right now. No, not right now. Megan has a busy job. We don't want to push Megan. We don't want to push Megan over the edge. But she's really good about taking requests because you guys had asked for red, white, and blue. And Megan immediately put together an incredible red, white, and blue assortment for you guys. So she definitely listens and takes it all into consideration. Trust me. She is all about giving you guys what you want. This was one of my favorite beads in this one that I had actually used to create some earrings and stuff. If you wanted to see that live, you can always go back and watch the replay. But this was one of my favorite beads. Obviously, I used a bunch of them. And so I only have the 3 here to show you. But what I was saying is that not only are these beads in limited quantities, but they are vintage. And you can definitely spot vintage beads, you guys, by the cotton cord that they are on. Because nowadays it is too expensive to string Czech glass beads on cotton cord. You may find some very high-end gemstone beads strung on cotton, but for the most part, you're going to find that your beads nowadays are strung on monofilament, which is a plastic. It's very similar to fishing line. These are gorgeous. So anytime you see beads on cotton, chances are they're probably vintage. This is such a beautiful mix. Gosh, I love it. So pretty. One of my absolute favorite assortments. This was the very first one that I got to show to you guys, and I'm so glad that it was able to be restocked. Oh, don't want to forget these guys. These were sitting off to the side. So these are double drilled, if you can see. These little flowers, they had just come off the strand, so I put them in a little baggie. Yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful mix. So pretty. All right, so I'm going to put these away. I'm going to show you a couple of others that I have, and then we'll make some earrings, and I'll drop a new product on you because I know you guys love kits, so I'm excited to show you the kit we are launching today. All right, now if you love blue, oh gosh, this was one of our blue assortments. Now, you've seen this one previously with some of our other designers, but this is my first time showing it off to you. So pretty. Look at the little squares. I love those. That color is so soft and calming. So is this one. Beautiful. This is a fun bead. I love these beads. I want more of these. Love, love, love. This is a really fun bead that you can do a lot of things with. You can macrame around it. You can wire wrap around it. You can do herringbone wire wrap around it. You can bezel it with seed beads. There's so many cool things you can do with that shape. It's that coin shape. I'll show it to you from the side so you can see. It's kind of puffed. It's not flat, so it's not table cut. just really awesome. Really, really pretty. All right, some little daisy spacers. And a beautiful soft blue with a little AB flash to those. Love these too. These little matte hearts. Gosh, they're so pretty. Those are beautiful. Love heart beads. Speaking of heart beads, check these out. Now these are, in fact, some beautiful big blue hearts. I love these, and you guys get crazy creative with these. You use these as like the bodies for little angels. We talked about that last week. You can use one of these and then put like the wings beads over here, and then like next up, and then do a round bead for the head. You can use them as angels or as fairies, or you can use them as hearts. You can use these for a lot of really fun things, and they're like the teal bead that I showed you, the rectangle one. They're kind of satin looking. So pretty. Really, really beautiful. Megan says those are chef's kiss. I agree. So pretty. Love that. All right, some of these. This is a really fun bead. So these are like the little clover shaped flowers in blue. Very pretty. I like those a lot. Really, really nice. All right, few more. This one also has some daggers in it. So for those of you who love daggers, these are so fun to incorporate into necklaces. I love the way daggers look. I used to not be a fan. You guys know. I used to think daggers look like bug wings, and I just never wanted to use them, but they're so pretty and they add such fun texture to your designs. This is also a really cool bead. Check this shape out. These are like little, almost like little clam shells. They're so cool. They're very beachy. In that beautiful cobalt blue. And then last but not least are some little blue hearts. So pretty. Look how cute those are. Ooh, I want to mix those with these. Create something fun. Another beautiful, beautiful strand assortment. So if this is your first time seeing this one, grab it up, because blues and teals in particular, they sell out so fast because they're so popular. They're very easy to create with, and they're very calming colors. They have a tendency to like fly out of the store very, very quickly. So when you see these, don't wait too long. Add these to your cart with one of our must-have items that is up to 30% off right now, and you're gonna get free shipping. Take advantage, don't wait. A lot of these will sell out, and Megan is able to replenish some of them, but not all of them. That's not always going to be possible. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these and you think, oh, I'll get them next time. There might not be a next time. If there is enough demand, she tries very, very hard to get these restocked, but it's not always possible. It just really kind of depends. All right, moving on to another one here. I've got two more to show you. There's actually three more in the show, but there's one of them that I don't have, and I didn't realize it until after I had added it to the show. So this one is a really cool yellow. It's not strictly yellow though. This one is like yellow and browns. So if yellow is kind of intimidating to work with, this one is a lot easier to work with because of the colors that are included with it. Love these beads. Really, really pretty. You can never have enough white beads. I never seem to have enough. This is a particularly fond shape of mine. I love that. So these are double drilled. They look like little Tic Tacs, but they make the coolest designs. Like, I just want to restring these on stretch cord and make super easy stretch bracelets. I think those are fabulous. Now, this is a dagger. My gosh, you guys, that's beautiful. It's like this really soft tan. But the iridescence, that's what gets me every single time. It's one of my very favorite finishes on a bead. Is it's not AB, right? It's just an all over iridescence. that just gives it like this ethereal quality. So pretty. Really, really beautiful. Some more of these fabulous lentils that I adore. I think Megan put in the comments what these are called. These are really cool. These look like some sort of like ancient coin. Love that. Leaves. You guys know how I feel about leaves. The more the better. Leaves and flowers. Those are my two favorite bead shapes ever. Those are so pretty. This is going to be another great one to use to create some fall designs. Look at this color palette. You can't be afraid of yellow when it is mixed together with these beautiful bronzes and browns and tans. Like that, you can't be afraid of that. That's gorgeous. Some little dancing beads. These are like the dancing pearls. These are little druck beads that have been drilled across the top instead of at the center. So they give this like back and forth effect, which is really cool. We have an assorted strand here with a lot of beautiful different shapes and sizes on it. There's some little hearts, some ovals, a couple of little teardrops through there. Really pretty. Love that. Speaking of hearts, there are some more in this gorgeous topaz. Look how pretty. I love those. You can make some little fall fairies or fall angels with these, or just use them as hearts. They're just so pretty. Now this is a fun bead. This is definitely a beachy bead right here. These little shells are very cool. I like those a lot. I like these mixed with these. I think that's fun. That to me just says like hanging out by the pool. All right. Having maybe a lemon or banana flavored fruity drink with an umbrella in it. Love that. So cute. So cute. And then last but not least are some table cut rectangles, which are always very, very popular. So pretty. They have that nice kind of tortoise shell effect to them. Awesome bead. Love that. All right, so there is an easy way to use yellow. Now, if you do love yellow, I know that most people are kind of like, I love yellow or I hate yellow. Very few people are kind of in the middle. If you love yellow, there is another yellow strand assortment. You can click on that shopping bag and bring it up. I don't physically have that one, but you can click on the shopping bag to take a look at it. It's available on the website. I wish that I had it to show to you guys. That is one of the few that I do not have in my hands, but put it in the show anyway, because I actually didn't know that I didn't have it until I was rounding up all of my materials. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So if you love yellow, you're going to love that one. If you're easing into yellow, this is a good one. This is a good one because you have all of these extra colors to work with. It makes yellow a little less intimidating to work with. So I thought this was a beautiful, beautiful assortment. All right, I got one more assortment to show you guys, and then we are going to quickly put together a pair of earrings. We're also going to do a trivia question, and you guys, I also have a brand new kit to show you guys. I'm going to show you the kit today when it's time, and then we're going to put it together with each other next Friday. So it's one of those where you can grab it now and make along with us next week. All right, this is beautiful browns. Again, I'm feeling fall with all of these. Look at the beautiful table cuts. This is just such a pretty bead, and they're so popular. This rectangle shape. Love those. A beautiful bronze multi-bead strand here with a lot of different beautiful shapes. So pretty. Rondelles, one of my other favorite shapes. I love a good rondelle. Those are really nice too. All right. These cutie little soft gold. Like, I don't even know that I would call that gold. I guess I would. It's very, very soft. So pretty. Teardrops. Who doesn't love a good teardrops? Particularly when they're drilled straight through, top to bottom like that. And you don't have to do any special wire wrapping with them. You can just string them right on. Those are really pretty. Yes. Megan, we want more. Okay, well, I can't speak for everybody. More of this style bead. I'm so in love with them. They're so pretty. They're just the right size. Love that. All right. Some more of the little bicone type beads here. These are really pretty too. Very opally with a little whisper of soft green. Those are really pretty. Love this shape. Some more of the rondelle shape, but they're flat on the top and the bottom and faceted along the edges. So I like to take these and pop seed beads in between them just to give each other a little bit of space. Gorgeous. And then probably my favorite bead in this assortment are the flowers. I adore these flowers so much. They're a little bit more shallow than a bellflower. These are going to make a nice little bead cap, or just a little add a little extra texture to your designs when you string them up that way. So pretty. Love those, love those. This is another beautiful assortment. Megan knows what she's doing, guys. I mean, if you haven't figured it out, Megan's pretty awesome. She puts together some of the most amazing strand assortments. She's putting together kits. She's already thinking about Halloween. She's thinking about Christmas. She has tons of ideas, and I cannot wait to see. I can't wait to see what comes off of Megan's desk next. So, all right, now we are going to go back. Take it back. We're going to go back to the first one that I showed you guys, which was this beautiful autumn falls. And we're going to use the beads in this one to create some earrings. So let me show you. I've got a sample here. We're going to try our best to get through the entire process. So we are going to create these little teardrops with some 18 gauge wire, and then we are going to create some little loops, hang some dangles. We might not get through all of this, but the part that I want you to see is the way that I have used this flower, right? I'm going to show you the little swirl that I did there that you can use, and then I just wire wrapped it to the frame that I created. I also have another example, not with these beads exactly, but with a project that I did over on my Patreon where I used very similar front drilled flowers. So there are ways to incorporate these into your designs and get really cool elements out of those. All right, so first things first. First thing that we are going to do is we are going to use our mandrel tool. If you guys need a mandrel tool, they are, as with all of the other tools in today's show, under that shopping bag that you can click on. I'm going to be using this and some 18 gauge wire here to create that teardrop shape that you see our earring is made out of. Okay, so I'm going to, I'd already pre-cut some of this, and I'm going to just pick whatever size you want for your earring to be. Okay, it doesn't have to be the same size as mine. I'm going to step up from the bottom 2 steps and use the third one up. And I'm just going to place my wire on there, holding it with my thumb. I'm going to guide the wire around and crisscross my wire out here to the side. Okay. And then I'm going to take this off and take a look at that shape. I'm going to kind of compare it to the one that I already made. Oh, wow, that's a lot bigger. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller and come up a little bit. Might be better, a little bit better. Yeah, that's closer. So 4 from the bottom. And then I'm going to take the wires where they are crisscrossing, and I'm going to take the one that's laying across the front, and I'm just going to very gently bend it to the back. The other wire, I'm going to just very gently bend it upwards. That's going to kind of hook the 2 wires together and kind of hold that shape in place until I am ready to secure it. So now that I have it hooked together, I'm going to continue to bend that wire that I had bent to the back and I'm going to wrap it around the wire that is now sitting straight up and down. And I'm going to wrap around, I don't know, maybe 2 times. You're really not going to see this because it's going to be behind the flower. Oh, I messed up that shape really bad. Lucky for me, I have lots of wire here. I can redo it. That was not the best choice. I'm gonna use my wire straightener here. Let's straighten this out. I never put the wire straightener in the show, but you guys you can grab one if you don't have one. They're very handy for when you do things like what I just did. All right, let's do that again. All right. Lisa says, I want to be Megan when I grow up. Me too. She has the coolest job. All right, there. Now, this time, let's use some pliers so that I don't mess this up. All right, so the one that's going in the front, I'm going to kind of push it to the back. This one, I'm going to stick it straight up and down. Now I'm going to come in with my pliers. I'm going to use my bent chain nose pliers to hold on to that before I start wire wrapping so I don't completely destroy this time. Actually act like I know what I'm doing. And I'm going to wrap around at least twice. Okay, at least twice to make it nice and secure. And then I'm going to use my cutter tool and I'm going to trim. All right. And then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and I'm going to grab the wire and I'm going to bend it one direction or the other. Doesn't matter which one or which way. I'm going to come in with my cutter tool. I'm going to trim, leaving myself about 1/4 of an inch of wire, or 1/2 inch, whatever works for you. And then I'm going to use my round nose pliers to grab that wire and roll to create a simple loop. It looks like a wrapped loop, but it's not, right? We kind of cheated. It's not really a wrapped loop. We can open and close it, but it does have the little wire wrap, so it looks very similar. Now, this one is a little different shape than this one, so if you want to kind of mold it a little bit, you can. It's just wire, so you can make it look however you want it to look. Okay. All right, so now the next thing that I want to do is I want to create the little loops here on the bottom. Now you can do this with your chain nose pliers or you can do this with stepped bell making pliers. It's whatever works for you, but I want to put 5 loops on the bottom with some 24 gauge wire so that I can hang some dangles from them. So I'm going to use the stepped pliers to do this, but you most definitely can just use your round nose if you want. And I'm going to use a little bit of 24 gauge wire to do that. Now, if you need either one of these wires, don't forget those along with any of the other tools that are in today's show, any of the beads, any of the findings you can find by clicking on that shopping bag. Also, don't forget that we have 20 to 30% off on our best sellers right now, our top products. And you also are going to get free shipping with those. So if you put one of our top sellers in your cart and then you add in anything from today's show, it's all going to ship to you for free. So definitely take advantage. All right, so now once I have a little length of some 24 gauge wire here, what I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is lift you guys up because I got to get underneath the camera here to really show you how to do this. Now, depending on what size loops you want to use will be dependent on, you know, which part of the tool you're going to use. If you're using your round nose pliers, obviously the closer to the front of the pliers, the smaller the loop, the closer to the back, the bigger the loop. So I'm going to just use the very smallest of the mandrels here. Before I do that though, let's wire wrap onto our component. So I'm going to take my 24 gauge wire, wrap it on. With about 3 or 4 good wire wraps. And kind of place it where I want it to go. Now you're going to be able to kind of move this around and put it wherever you want it. But for now, get it close to where you want to start your loops. Doesn't have to be exact. All right, then you're going to place your component into the tool. Notice that my wire wraps are right up against the tool. I'm going to use the wire and use the mandrel, guide the wire around the mandrel, and then wrap around the component about 3 times. All right, when you're coming up after that 3rd wrap, you're ready to make another one, but we're going to take it off so I can show you what it looks like. So now I have this little loop that I can attach higher up. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll hold it up higher the next time. Okay, so we're going to do another one. And again, placing the wire, the component, the wire wraps right up against the edge of the tool. Okay. Then we're going to guide the wire around the mandrel and then wire wrap. And I like to do my wire wraps while I'm still holding on to it. That way I don't accidentally pull the loop out, because this 24 gauge wire is soft. So I don't want to accidentally pull the loop out by pulling my wire too tight as I'm wire wrapping. Okay, so there's 2. And I'm going to scoot this over a little bit because I want the center loop number 3 to be right in the center of the bottom of my teardrop shape. Okay, so same thing, placing it right up against the previous wire wraps, guiding the wire around the mandrel, and then wrapping around, still holding it all in place. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 more. One thing you'll notice is that I am following the natural path of the wire. So I'm not wire wrapping these loops, and I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. I'm not wire wrapping them all on the front. In other words, when you're looking at them, you can see how the wire is coming from the back and then going to the back. So I'm following the path, right? So the front part of the little loop starts on the front of the wire, or the main component, but then ends on the back of the component, right? So I'm wrapping to the back, following the natural path of the wire as if I were just wrapping it around the component without wrapping it around the tool. So I'm not changing anything like that. Changing something like that will kind of throw off your pattern a little bit. So I'm just following the natural path of the wire as if I were wrapping around without wrapping around the mandrel. Mixmaster Megan. We're all very happy that you're here with us, Megan. So happy. All right, so there are my 5 loops. Now I can lower you guys down a little bit and we can take a look. All right, so there are my loops. Now you can do as many loops as you want to. You could go all the way around your component. If your component was a circle, you could go all the way around, like it's whatever you want to do. It's a nice little way to add loops that you can hang dangles from to literally anything. You can do this to pre-made components, anything you want really. So now my job is to clean this up a little bit. So where I very first anchored my wire, I'm going to clean that up. And then I'm going to come to the back here and I'm going to trim. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side. Just making sure that I'm trimming on the back of the component. All right, so now when you're looking at it from the front, that's what you've got. A little teardrop that you can hang whatever you want to from, right? Okay, so for the sample, I want to show you, I hung some beads from that part because why not? I love dangles, that's fun, and that's why they're there. But I also hung some dangles here in the center of my teardrop behind one of those center drilled flowers. And I did that with a combination of jump rings and some 24 gauge wire. So we're gonna do that real quick. And I think for this one, since I'm not doing the full version here, I'm just gonna do one little dangle in the middle. Oh, I better not. I'll do all of them. I'll wire wrap fast. I'll go fast. I'm just taking a look at the time and remembering we've got trivia. We're going to do a giveaway and I'm going to drop a new product on you guys. So I want to be sure that I have enough time to do all the things that I set out to do today. So we're going to wire wrap these real quick. And I'm going to show you how to attach the flower. And then we'll stop and do some giveaway. Want to? All right, so I'm just wire wrapping these little green beads from the mix. You could use any of them. You don't have to use these if you don't want to. You know what? I am just going to do one. I'm just going to do one just to save some time. And just to show you, like, this kind of design is very versatile. You can do whatever you want to. If you need some head pins though, definitely grab some of the ball head pins. I love them. Love them, love them. All right, so there's my little dangle that I'm gonna hang in the center. Okay, but most important part is attaching my flower here. So I'm going to take a jump ring. Okay, because I gotta have something to hang this guy onto. Actually, I need 2 jump rings, so I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna take 2 jump rings to attach to the bead we just wire wrapped, and then we're going to wire wrap that plus our flower all together all at the same time. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. So go ahead and get this part ready. Okay, so I have a little dangle here. Now, I'm going to take a piece of 24 gauge wire like I used to create my loops. Find the end of that 24 gauge wire somewhere, anywhere. Hello? Where is it? Oh, I'll just take from the other side. All right, so I'm going to take several inches of this. I'm going to trim. Okay. All right. Now this is just one of the many, many ways that you can attach this. So you can, I'm going to show you 2 different ways actually. You can take your, where are the round nose pliers that I had? Here they are. You can take your round nose pliers. Okay. Grab your wire right in the center, just like this. Okay. And you're going to take one wire and you're going to go up and over the top barrel, and then you're going to take the other wire, you're going to go down and around the bottom barrel. Okay, then you're going to kind of chase each other. See how I'm just like I'm twisting one and then twisting the other? So I'm twisting those around. I'm going to take this off of the tool, and you can see I have like this little S shape in the middle, right? Little S shape. Now you can take your chain nose pliers and, whoops, it's kind of tricky because the wire is little, but you're going to grab one side of that wire and bend it back. See how I've done that? Then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so now you have the 2 wires coming together. You've got your little twisty on the front, and your 2 wires are running side by side coming out the back of that. Then you can take those 2 wires and thread both of those through the center of your flower, and then when you pull, you've got that little twisty wire S in the center of your flower. and your flower is nice and secure, okay? And then you can just kind of push it down against the surface of your flower. So you have a little S in there. You can always think of me. Every time you see these flowers, you have your little S in the middle. Or, okay, and now what you have here on the back is 2 wires that you can now wire wrap with, okay? Or you can take another piece of wire and you're essentially going to just make a loop. So now this time, instead of using or making an S, you're going to use your round nose pliers right at the tip and crisscross your wires to make a little loop, and then you're going to twist once. Okay, so you've got a little twist and a little loop. You can then take your 2 ends together and also thread those through the center of your flower. So now in the center of your flower you have a little loop. Mine was a little too wide. I need to push that together a little bit. Either way is fine. There we go. Right? So you just have the tiny little loop in the center. Now this gives you the opportunity to attach something from that. So if you wanted to like dangle something from your flower, you could, but you also still have the 2 wires on the back to wire wrap with. Okay. So either one is fine. You can see with the original, I did the little twisty little S. This one I'm going to do with just the loop. They're both going to work exactly the same. Okay. So now what you're going to do before you separate those wires out, you're going to take your jump ring with your dangle on it and thread that through, or thread that on to your 2 wires and let that fall up against the flower. And then you're going to separate your 2 wires out. And then you are going to use those 2 wires to wire wrap onto your component. So holding it on there from the front, you're going to wire wrap around your component with 1 wire on one side. Go ahead and trim. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to take the other wire on the other side and wrap. And that jump ring is not going to get in your way. It should just be sitting to the back of that flower. And you're not going to see any of this because this is all on the back. And trim that off. All right, so you've wire wrapped your flower. When you look at it from the front, that's what you've got. Right? You have your little dangle hanging. You've got your little flower here. It may spin this direction, but it's not going to fall forwards or backwards. It's really stationary. You've got your loop where you can add your ear wire, and then you can add whatever dangles you want to on the bottom. So for the original, I had put 3 of the little beads in the center, these guys right here, instead of just the single. And then I wire wrapped some of the little red drops and a leaf bead, and I wire wrap those directly to my little loops on the bottom, or you can attach them with jump rings. It's totally up to you. Either way, but the most important part that I wanted you to take away from this is the front drilled flower. You can use these front drilled flowers in so many ways, and they don't have to be a challenge, right? Make a little S shape, make a little loop, use your head pins if you want to. If you use a head pin, the only thing is that you only have 1 wire to use to secure it to something. If you do it like this, you have 2 wires, which really kind of helps to stabilize it on both sides. And then you can take these little flowers and wire wrap them to literally anything. It really kind of opens up the possibilities with these. Now you also can wire wrap them like a briolette. You can take the wire through the center and wire wrap them on the edge. You can take really large jump rings and run through them. But I think that's one of the biggest questions that I've gotten so far about these assortments is about these beads and the ones that are drilled in the front. Like, what do I do with them? So hopefully now I've given you some ideas as what you can do with those. All right. Denise says, thank you, thank you, thank you for showing me that. You're so welcome. I don't want anybody to be intimidated by these because these are truly beautiful Czech glass beads. And it is a shame that they just get tossed off to the side of your desk because you don't know what to do with them. They can be a lot of fun. You can stack them up. You can put other beads in front of them. Like I had some in pink, and then I had some small little yellow ones, so I stacked them together, used the little loop method, and you can see I just wire wrapped them to a component. So you can do a lot of really fun things with them. And then with that loop, if you wanted to like dangle off some dangles, you totally can. So lots of versatility with those. Don't be afraid to use those beads. They are a lot of fun to work with, and they're very, very beautiful. Now, the thing that we are going to do is we are going to drop a new product. But before we do that, let's do some trivia. You want to? Let's do the trivia first because this one is a brain buster. You guys are going to have a hard time with this one. What can I put out here in front of you that you can look at while we do this? Well, I'll just put my little samples back out here so you can take a look at these and maybe get some ideas. All right, now if you want to answer, or if you want to your chance to enter, you have to be joining us from artbeads.com and hanging out in the chat, because chat is where you are going to post your answer to today's trivia question. Okay, so I'm going to read the trivia question, and it is a 2-part question. You have to get both parts right to win. First person to have the correct answer in the comment section wins. All right, so let's do this, and then we're going to drop a brand new kit on you guys. All right, so stick around. Don't go anywhere yet. Ready? Here's the question. Okay, so let's see here. 2 parts. You got to get both parts of this question right. Okay. According to Google, the world's largest macrame wall hanging. Wait a minute. Hang on. What is the question here? The 2-part question is, oh, okay, sorry, I was reading this wrong. So first I'm going to drop some facts on you, okay? Let me drop the facts first. According to Google, the world's largest macrame wall hangings were made by Agnes Hansela, okay? They are 3 very large macrame installations called the Mountain, Ocean, and Sunset. So here's the question about those. What building are they hanging in, and in what country? Ready? Go. So it's all about macrame. Eric says, see, it's not always me. I know. Well, but actually I can still say it's you because you're the one who wrote the question. So, but you're right. This time it was me. Right? This is a crazy question. All right, you got to get both parts of this right, and I see the answer already. Well, yeah. So you got to get both. What building are they hanging in, and in what country is this building located? And Michelle's got our winner, Stacy. It is in Loka Beach House in Bali, which I'm probably not even saying that right. I know I'm saying the Bali part right, but yeah, okay. So yeah, Susie said, you're fast, right? Loka Beach House is in Bali. I had no idea. And I did not have time to look these pieces up before the show, but I fully intend to go see them because I absolutely adore macrame. So if you're like me and you like macrame, you don't want to miss what we got coming up. Gina said, Eric's living room in Montana. Nope, I believe that you were wrong. But he did include the fact that, let's see here, he told me the size. Oh, the Loka Beach House is in Bali. Each of these pieces is over 37 feet wide and almost 2 stories tall. That's huge. That is huge. I have to look them up. I gotta see what they look like. He left a link too. I gotta see. I'm intrigued. Oh my gosh. Look, you guys, hold on. Oh my goodness. That's incredible. That's amazing. Wowza. Look at that. That's wild. All right, so if you happen to like macrame, which I absolutely adore, and I'll tell you why, for those of you who don't know. But if you like macrame, guess what? Megan has a new kit coming at you right now. You guys, this is a brand new macrame kit. This is what it looks like. Well, minus this part. This is the finished piece. I'm going to show it to you here in a second. But this is the kit. You guys know in true Art Beads fashion, we have everything you need to complete the finished pieces of jewelry, right? So you get a full thing of amulette cord. You have your pendant here, beautiful enamel pendant, little charm, all the hardware that you need, all the beads that you need, plus the written instructions. Now that's what really kind of sets these apart, is that the instructions are so detailed. Okay, so this one is What's Your Mood macrame necklace and bracelet kit. It's going to give you a list of all of the components here, as well as links to any of the things that you may need, including the techniques. So here is how to create your square knot to show you, opening and closing jump rings, and then your step-by-step instructions to put this together, which you will see right here. And I'm going to show you what the two pieces look like. So let me lift you up just a little bit. All right. So this one makes two pieces of jewelry. So you can create the awesome little bracelet, which I think is fabulous. And these are mood beads, you guys, mood beads. That's where the name comes from. They have the mood beads on them. So they're color changing mood beads depending on what kind of mood you're in. Get it? You get it. And here's the necklace, which is totally fabu. Awesome little kits that Megan has put together for us. Now, these are dropping right now. So you can grab these. You can add these to your cart right this second. If you grab one today, we will meet back up on Friday of next week, and I will show you, I may not show you the entire necklace, but I'm going to show you as much as possible of how to put this together. Now, you don't necessarily need me for that because you have the detailed instructions, but if you would like to see this step by step, I am going to show you on Friday of next week. So grab yours now, and then we can all hang out and create a fun piece of jewelry with each other next week. Looking forward to it. I love macrame. So if you guys don't know my story, I started making macrame jewelry when I was in high school. That's what got me started in jewelry making in the first place. And I used to make macrame jewelry and sell it to my friends to get gas money to put in my car because I drove an SUV that was absolutely enormous. And my mom and dad wouldn't let me work because my grades were really important. So I wasn't allowed to work like an after school job. So in order to get the gas money to fill up my enormous vehicle, to drive it around and hang out with my friends, I made macrame jewelry. I made tons of knotted jewelry and I would sell it to all my friends. I was running my own little jewelry business back when I was in high school just to get gas money to get back and forth, because all of my friends lived across the river, so it was a long drive for me. I lived out in the middle of nowhere and all of my friends lived in South Knoxville across the river, so I would have to drive really far and took a lot of gas to get there. So I started with macrame and have loved it to this day. Still one of my very favorite techniques ever. You can see the mood beads are kind of soft green, and I'm always very, very hot. And so it makes them deep blue. When I touch them, they get very, very blue. Very hot-blooded, I guess. So cool. All right, so there you go, guys. There you go. I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's show. Please don't forget to take advantage of our 20 to 30% off our bestsellers. If you have just one of our bestsellers from that section on artbeads.com in your cart, everything else you've got in the cart is going to ship to you for free. So take advantage of that. You don't want to miss out. You're going to get a deal and you're going to get some free shipping. You got a brand new product dropped on you right now. And we're going to put it all together next week so we can hang out and bead together as friends, right? And I showed you guys some amazing strand assortment. So I'm going to turn you around here. Let's see. All right. So I'm just going to take a couple of seconds here at the end of the show to let you guys ask any questions, because I actually see some that are coming across, and give you an opportunity to go ahead and close out your carts. Now, if you don't know what that means, it just means to finish your shopping process. So if you've got your cart loaded up with all of your goodies in it, now is your time to go ahead and like hit checkout and finish your shopping. Because as I mentioned, a lot of these items are in very limited quantities, and sometimes they can be restocked, not always. So you want to be sure that you close out your cart so you don't miss out on any of the deals. If you wait too long, the free shipping that applies to our top sellers will go away, I think Monday evening. So you don't want to miss out. Come back on Tuesday and be like, wait, where are all the items? They sold out and now I don't get free shipping. So don't let that happen to you. You definitely want to go ahead and close your carts out now while we are saying goodbye here at the end. I'm going to scroll back here a little bit. Denise says in big, strong, bold letters, she says, I love it, but never could do it. But thanks to Sara, I can do a moose knot and a square knot. Thank you. That makes me very, very happy. I have really helped a lot of people with macrame because it can be tricky. And I think that if you look online, there are a lot of different techniques, a lot of different steps that people take. Some people start on the left, some people start on the right, and some people, you know, only explain certain things, or you only get the pictures and you don't get to see it like broken down. I try really, really hard to break it down and make it as easy to understand as possible because I think it's so much fun. It's one of those things where if you learn the basics of macrame, then a whole world opens up to you, because then you realize that you can alter it by adding beads in any section and it changes the entire thing. Same technique, just popping the beads onto the strings in different places creates amazing designs. So it's a lot of fun and I'm very passionate about it. So I get excited to show it to other people. So I'm glad that I helped. I'm glad. Love it, love it, love it. So glad that you guys have been here. She says, I swear you taught me everything I know. Probably not everything, you know, but I will take credit for some of it for sure. Cause that's what I do. That's what I do. I like to share all my knowledge with you guys. Ruth Alice says, I need gas money. Me too. Me too. Same. I feel that. I feel that. Juan is trying to figure out what a moose knot is. Well, it's a knot around a moose, of course. What kind of question? It looks like a barrel knot, but it's not. It's a moose knot. It is kind of a barrel knot. Slight difference. Slight difference. Yes, Nicole says, Megan, please join us again. Megan, we would love to have you come hang out with us anytime you want to. Now, speaking of Megan and time and all of those things, guys, be sure you're setting your reminders, not just for me here on Friday afternoons at 4 p.m. Eastern, but for all of our other amazing designers as well. Be sure you're setting your reminders for them. Sign up for the newsletter so you stay in the know of all things art beads related, and be sure you're signing up for our text messages, because sometimes your notifications don't go off, but you can count on those text messages to come through and remind you very gently to come and hang out with us and see whatever it is that we are doing. And you guys can always come back and watch these on replay as many times as you want to. You can fast forward through the chat in the beginning, get right to the technique and watch it as many times over and over, fast forward, however you need to watch it. Always really a nice asset to have, to be able to come back and rewatch things. So if you want to see what I did with those flowers, you can always come back and watch again. Paulette says, I need bead money. Me too. Pizza money, bead money, gas money. All right, friends, I love you so much. Thank you so much for hanging with me this afternoon and letting me be a part of your beady journey. I appreciate you, and I'll be back with you guys next week with another fun project where we're going to put together that awesome macrame kit that I just showed you guys. All right, so have a great rest of your day, amazing weekend, and I'll see you again very soon. Mwah. Bye, guys.